What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 140 of the Clevener Original Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Kody Misialek. Alongside me, the man with a plan, Jayden Reinhart.
Yeah. This week's plan was to fuck. I don't know.
To fuck?
Yeah. No. I meant fuck as a an explanatory. That's not the word I'm looking for? Expletive.
I mean, yeah, fuck is an expletive.
Yeah. Just like as like a pointless expletive to no ends. Like just
as like a
fuck. Yeah. Because
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a
like
whap.
Like an onomatopoeia.
Yeah.
No plans for me.
No plans.
No.
You're supposed to be the one with a plan.
Well, I guess my plan is to do a whole lot of nothing, which is great because I have some days off from work.
Nice.
4 in a row.
Nice.
It's good.
Yeah.
And this guy right here is JJ Larson.
That's me.
That is you.
I'm doing stuff, you know.
Stuff?
Busy week.
What stuff you doing?
A lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
Yeah, a lot of just busy.
Doing shit.
Just very busy, you know.
Now, is that doing shit the noun or doing shit the expletive?
The expletive.
Okay. Just double checking, making sure, like,
I'm
you
not
know.
sure that's correct.
It's probably not, but I wanted to know that I wasn't fucking shit. You know, like, I wasn't having sex with shit.
Right. That's
Yeah.
not what he's doing.
No, he's doing
For the record.
shit. He's not doing shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't listened to us before, we are the Clever and Original Podcast. We talk about movie type stuff, video game type stuff, particularly in that order. Let's get on with the news.
Yeah.
Still in that lull period, but some interesting stuff. Black Panther is now the third place all-time highest grossing box office, behind Star Wars The Force Awakens and Avatar. It just surpassed Titanic, and it's already surpassed the Avengers.
I mean, it was a fucking big movie, you know? Really fucking popular.
Avatar's number 1?
Probably.
No. Force Awakens is number 1.
Avatar's number 2.
Yeah, I would guess they're probably not adjusting this for, like, this is just numerically. Like, are they adjusting?
I think it's numerically. It's not adjusted.
Because I'm pretty sure Titanic has never been beaten. Like, if we adjust for, like...
I thought it was Gone with the Wind.
I think Gone... Actually, yeah, Gone... I'm pretty sure Gone with the Wind is number 1 if you, like... If you adjust so that, like,
it's not accounting for inflation.
Okay, yeah. All right. But yeah, still pretty big fucking deal.
And it's set to potentially eclipse Avatar. To eclipse Titanic, which it has. But still behind Force Awakens, which holds number 1 in Avatar. So Avatar holds 760.5 million, and Force Awakens hold 936.7 million. I believe this is domestically too. Yes, it's the domestic box office. And so far, Black Panther has reached 659.3 million.
It's pretty fucking good.
So I'm not sure it's going to eclipse Avatar.
I mean, probably not.
And
but.
definitely won't for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But still good. The highest grossing domestically MCU film out there.
I mean, you know, it was liked by critics. It was like popular with fans as well. There was a lot of outside the fan base talk about the movie. I would say so. That's probably driving quite a bit of this. You know, there's a lot of people who don't come out to see superhero movies. Came out to see this movie.
Yeah. People who I've seen, it's like, oh yeah, I've never seen a Marvel movie, but I'm seeing this, and like, oh, I like that, and then they start watching. You know, I've seen people do that, but yeah, a lot of people who haven't seen the Marvel movies before, you know, the whole idea of African superhero was really liked by a lot of people, and it was a good film.
Mm-hmm. That always helps.
Yeah,
being good helps.
Being good generally helps.
Being good does.
But yeah, I mean, it's surprising that it's beaten out the likes of Avengers, which was the big team up Marvel film, until now Infinity War, but we still don't know what that's going to do.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
But still amazing, especially considering when it was released. It came out in February, and films, that's generally where films are set, don't really make anything. The big months are, May through like July. But it seems like the time frame for blockbuster films is now any time in the year.
I mean, pretty much. There's so many of them that they just kind of have to.
It was like, fuck, there's no room. Let's just do it all.
Let's do it, and people go see them. So,
yeah. Well, especially I think since Marvel came or started to do multiple films per year, because it's like, okay, May, beginning of summer, June, July, but then they, now they're getting films in November. Like Thor's been there a couple of times. Doctor Strange was there once, and now like Star Wars is in December of all times.
Good Christmas present, yeah. Go see Star Wars.
So blockbuster time frame is just any time frame now, and especially surprising seeing a movie in that time frame get this high when it was more like it did a great job for that month. Yeah, but now it's like that's one of the best of all time. So I mean, that's really cool. Let's see, currently as 10th at the highest grossing film at the global box office, just ahead of Frozen, which has 1.28 billion. Black Panther sits at 1.29 billion, and behind and in 9th is The Last Jedi with 1.33 billion.
Nice.
So, even there, I think Avengers is like one of the top worldwide. Although I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
But really cool, really interesting sort of thing. Kind of happened. Not really expecting it, especially because it was a solo film, but did really well. Yeah. Any other thoughts on Black Panther and just box office? All right, let's move on. So, the press tour for Avengers Infinity War has started, I think, today. And so their Marvel and crew are out there and starting to promote the film, which comes out on the 27th of this month.
Oh yeah, fuck. That's what date? What's the date? 8th, 19 days.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's that close.
It's coming up,
That's like what all films like this now. It's just like, oh, it's coming out? Okay. It's like, it's like, all right.
For me, a lot of times it's like, oh, it's in theaters. Okay. Like, it's just... Yeah. It's already there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. And so a lot has been made about this being Thanos' film, and now in a issue of Total Film, Joe and Anthony Russo reveal that Thanos' planned backstory has been cut for time reasons. Quote, "We were considering showing Thanos' backstory, but ultimately felt it wasn't necessary for the movie." And then from the article, the director did try to assuage possible backlash by saying that Infinity War is still, quote, told from his, meaning Thanos, his point of view. Let's see. In addition, Kevin Feige, head of Marvel Studios, said about Thanos' origin, quote, "He's from a planet called Titan that's no longer inhabited because of things that he thought he could help prevent, and he was not allowed to do that. What he feared most happened, and the planet and everybody on it basically went extinct. He vowed not to let that happen again. He thinks he sees the universe going down the tubes. He thinks he sees life expanding outward unchecked. That will bring ruin, he believes, to the universe and to that life. So, thoughts on this, I guess, revelation about Infinity War and plot details pertaining to Thanos?
I guess like I don't think they need like an extensive backstory for him. You know, that might also be a little. You might get into the trap of having like a half an hour of just exposition without like anything really happening.
Cough, Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
cough,
like that. And I mean, if we get a sense of his motives, otherwise, and we don't need like this extensive backstory, that's fine. Especially because the movie's so long already. You know.
Yeah, it's a long fucking movie.
It's what, 2.5 hours?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's like
so,
it's like a little over actually.
Yeah, a little over 2.5 hours. Yeah, like that's
real quick. But yeah, it's probably. I mean, both Avengers films were like 2.5 hours. I think. If there's a runtime listed here, there's not according to this at least yet. But probably 2.5 hours. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know why they had to address it, because it makes me skeptical now. Like, it's like, oh, well, here, it could possibly be bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't need that going into this.
Like, addressing the possible backlash before,
addressing it before it happens.
Yeah,
right?
like they could have probably gotten away with just not having it in there, not telling anyone that they removed it, and then maybe nothing would have even happened. Maybe no one would care because it's so good.
Right.
It's a little worrying.
Now I'm kind of hesitant. Like,
yeah.
Like, I really want Thanos to be a good villain because Marvel hasn't been really.
Yeah, they haven't had that many great ones.
Who fights Iron Man? Evil Iron Man.
They've been better recently, but you want the big baddie, the guy who's been like all 10 years of culmination going up to, like, to actually be worth it.
Yeah.
Instead of just generic evil guy.
Who fights Hulk?
3.
A big green guy. A big red guy.
How about a big purple guy?
Purple guy. Ooh, I like that color.
Gauntlet.
Who fights Doctor Strange? Evil Doctor Strange.
Big purple guy.
Big purple guy.
So I think they said, we talked about it. I think actually they said Thanos has the most screen time.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I think we
if
talked
it's being
about
told
that.
from his point of view, that doesn't make sense.
I think, so I mean, hopefully that doesn't. We don't need that much backstory then.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's kind of like alluded to through different things, and we kind of get his, what is it?
His motivation.
His motivation.
His ideas.
Right. His love for death. Probably not.
But
yeah.
From this description, it sounds like he's like.
I'm gonna be lame about it.
He's got to be like, I want to do the universe right by me. Which is by killing people.
Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3's plot, essentially. Spoiler alert for a super old game, but
I don't know. I've never played Mass Effect.
Universe gets too big, so they kill everything.
Okay.
Basically.
Kind of.
Sort of.
Similar idea, actually.
Yeah.
But
like sort of like, it's uncontrollable, so we'll just control you.
Yeah, just have to get
but Thanos should lust for death.
That would be way cooler.
Like,
that would be
like, I want you, death. I'm gonna kill everyone for you.
That'd be way cool. Damn it, Marvel. Go with weird stuff. You can do it.
They have done it. They did ego. Well, okay. I can go down the list.
The ego, the planet.
You've got Iron Man, a guy who builds suits of armor. You got the Hulk, a guy who turns into a monster. You've got Captain America, a guy from the 1940s who got frozen in time.
His superpower is that he's really old.
Yeah,
Thor,
he's super old.
You got Thor, a god.
Yeah.
You've got, well, after that, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy, a talking raccoon, a giant tree monster, green alien stuff. You've got Ego, the living planet. They literally made a character who was a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's weird, but it'd be weirder if Death itself was a character.
Oh, come on.
We already have gods.
He's a planet.
God.
Okay,
Ego
but Death
planet.
itself would be like, it wouldn't be that weird, like, comparatively, but it would be the weirdest thing that's happened.
Would it?
Yes.
Really?
Would it?
A planet that's alive is a lot less weird than...
I mean, when you look at Spider-Man,
wait.
I know Fox technically...
So, but people said the Grim Reaper, right? But, like, how often have you seen, like, a planet, a sentient planet?
Yeah, let's be real here. Like, in mythology of any sort, fables and mythology, when has there ever been an entire planet that's been alive?
It would be fun, but, like, I doubt they're almost definitely not doing that.
They're probably not.
And
they're probably not doing the Thanos copter either.
No.
God damn it.
Fucking sons of bitches. I love you, Marvel, but fuck you.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Death should be in this. And
Agreed.
not by death, like death. I mean, that should be in it too.
There is going to be death in it, almost assuredly.
But like death the person.
Not Thanos' death, because he's telling the story, assumedly from the future of the story. So he's probably not going to die.
Yeah.
Maybe he might die.
Or maybe he just gets fucked up and leaves.
Or maybe he wins and the world is populated by a bunch of purple people afterwards.
And then the true villain comes along, the one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater. It was misconstrued. The people eater isn't purple.
The
It eats
Minnesota
purple people.
Vikings from the Minnesota Vikings defensive line, the purple people eaters come out from their football retirement to eat Thanos.
We
Get
were
a
wrong.
huge crossover event,
The people eater wasn't purple, JJ. It was a purple people eater.
or
Ate purple people.
They would
or
eat Thanos.
Thanos' arch rivals, the Blue Man Group.
Oh my god.
They're
Battle
like,
of the colors.
we're like, we're blue.
We play on PVC pipes.
And we're gonna kick your ass.
Exactly.
As they play on their PVC pipes. And Thanos is like, no! Holding his head and going insane. Like it's doing damage.
Just like, blue is better than purple.
You can't have purple without blue. Ha 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 ha.
Dun dun dun.
We should make a fan comic of this.
Yeah. We should write a fanfic. And then,
Yeah, do it.
Blue Man Group and Thanos.
and then make it into a movie and make millions.
Hell yeah.
Billions. With a B.
With a C.
With a
That's not a word.
killions.
Killians?
Sillions.
Sillions?
Aliens.
Why
K.
do you put your name in there? Fuck that.
No. Wait, no. What if it was billions with a K?
Isn't there a Killian?
Killians?
Like an actual like K-I-L-L-I-O-N?
Killian's Irish Red, the beer?
Oh.
I mean, well,
Now we're talking about
Thanos-
alcohol.
All right.
Thanos
Killian.
is gonna have killions.
He's going to drink a beer.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna kill him with these killians.
And he's going to
And he's gonna like make sure the label's out towards the camera.
and like drink it slowly with the label facing like towards the camera.
Ah. Nah, that's some good killing.
End movie. It's not a 2.5 hour movie. Spoiler alert. It's like a 5-minute ad for Killians.
It's a 2.5 hour ad where all they are doing is drinking Killian. What is it? Beer? Whiskey?
Two and a half
Beer.
hour ad, so
Beer.
it's Transformers.
Yeah. And then they're like, Tony is like, hey, it's weird. I bought this beer company called Killian. And they're like, cool, let's party. And then they start drinking it, making sure the label's always pointed toward the camera, right?
Every time.
Like, oh, this is so good. Hey, Hulk, I know you just crashed onto Earth. Here's a Killian.
Oh, thanks, man.
And Thanos is like, I'm going to kill you and all of you.
He's like,
nah. And he takes all the Killian. And they're like, oh, crap. We got to get after him.
And that's when the fighting starts because he stole all the Killian.
Yeah.
His backstory is that he really likes Killian beer.
Yeah. He likes killing.
He does.
Mm-hmm. He does like killing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's his backstory.
Yep.
Totally not made up by us.
Nope.
Look
it says here at the phone I'm looking at that it's from PCGamer.com. They said so. You can go check.
Yeah. Totally don't look at the comics because I mean, you can. They just prove us being right.
Right. But you don't have to. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here to inform you.
Mm-hmm. That's why you're listening.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Thanos not going to be in it as much as time.
I mean, that's probably good.
Would allow.
You know?
Yeah. But
that's
I mean, probably still going to be the most.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. The film comes out in
19 days.
19 days, so less than 3 weeks.
18 probably for
2
the midnight or, the day before type shit.
18, 17, 16,
I made sure
15.
I got work off for that because I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm missing this.
Yeah.
What day does that fall on?
It's a Thursday.
Thursday? Okay.
It's 26th.
Cool.
Or technically it's the 27th, but they always do, early showings, which are always on Thursday, the day before release.
Yeah. That's usually.
Well, if there's a midnight showing, I don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean,
it used to be midnight. It used to always be like, okay, you can first watch it at midnight because that's the release date.
Right.
And then
now it's like 7 o'clock the day before. Come see it.
Release date is the 27th, so come on the 26th.
Yeah. Got to get that extra cash for the weekend to set records.
Exactly. That's what
to make you look better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, money,
right?
Cash money.
Cashola.
Give me some
rules
of that.
Everything around me.
That bills, y'all. Does it for movie news this week? Kind of short.
Yeah.
Getting into our short video game news. It's the lull period of the year, although everything hits in the summer.
Yeah.
So
I mean, once E3 happens, there's gonna be like shit everywhere.
So Spyro the Dragon
Fun games.
had a trilogy remaster announced. We talked about this a couple weeks ago about the remaster. It was leaked. It is officially revealed as the Spyro Reignited trilogy. And it's coming out for the 20th anniversary of the original game. It's going to include the 3 original PS1 Spyro games: Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon, with new remastered graphics sound available on PS4, PS4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox One X on September 21st.
Nice.
Currently, so for all those platforms, is available for pre-order with a cost of $39.99.
Good. That's a good price for a remaster.
Yeah.
I might actually buy it.
The original 3 games were developed by Insomniac Games, and so coming out on PS4, Xbox One.
Man, that first game was my fucking childhood.
Yeah, that played
that and the first Crash Bandicoot game.
So, thoughts on this?
I mean, I'm down. I'm always down. I grew up on the Plebe Station.
Mm-hmm.
Sony Plebe Station, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that what they call it?
That's the name, That's a name for it.
And I switched out eventually for Xbox, but until then I was growing up on stuff like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. Obviously Crash Bandicoot I was like, hell yeah. And so much like that with Spyro, I'm still like, hell yeah, I want more of these games that I had in my childhood remastered on current devices.
Taking the page out of Crash Bandicoot, which was released last year.
Yeah. And it's coming out shortly for the PC.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Both of these games were exclusives to the original PlayStation. However, they are now both coming out for Xbox and PC. So yeah, cool.
It's exciting. I might actually buy this.
Yeah,
$40. I really liked these games. So
yeah, Spyro was my favorite.
And I can get achievements. I can get achievements in Spyro.
I remember the best thing was running and jumping at the same time because the animation just looked hilarious.
So like
also the graphics just look. Do you see the side by side comparison? They're like massively different.
Yeah,
huge.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were fucking polygons back then.
PS1 game. So
that's
literal
cool.
Polygons.
People are talking about like they should do Sonic remasters now because they're getting all these remastered games.
Maybe one day. That'd be cool. I want Sonic Adventure 2 with modern graphics, except none of the story in all of the. I don't even know what they're called. The little thing.
Chows.
Yeah, that's it. I would just want that.
Yeah, Chows are awesome.
Like remaster and expand on Chows.
Yeah, just all of more.
Okay. We take the game, right? We take City Escape.
And that's
it. And then Chows expanded.
That's actually like it. I played through the whole game, right?
Right.
I beat every level. Okay. But most of my time in the game was just running City Escape to get rings, and going back and doing the shit with the Chows.
Yeah.
I had some really OP Chows. Like they were fucking ridiculous.
I always like the karate one. My Chow would just like beat the crap out of those other Chows. Like, fuck you. You aren't as tough as my Chow. Like, get pwned, noob.
It's pretty great.
But yeah. So, Spyro the Dragon comes out in September, I'd say 27th. Cool. 21st, sorry. Also coming out that month is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
which was announced this past week, the release date for PS4 exclusively. It's coming out September 7th for PS4. There you go. And there will be Spider-Man suit pre-order bonuses. There will be 3 of them. They only revealed one though, and that was the punk Spider-Man costume.
Okay.
But Spider-Man looks cool.
Yeah, excited. Lots of good stuff coming out eventually.
Yeah, September's a fairly busy month.
Yeah.
All right, that does it for the news this week.
Not a lot of news.
Getting on into the juice.
Juice.
Game difficulty.
Game difficulty, what do we prefer? What do we think about it?
Well, I guess what kind of sparked my interest in this topic was Warhammer Vermintide has been famously difficult as of late.
The first one was hard, if I remember.
First one was hard. This one probably just as. I didn't have a whole lot of time in the first one, to be honest.
Yeah, the first one was pretty tough.
But a lot of the enemies and whatever, like just their patterns and everything and how much they can heal themselves is just really difficult. And I can't remember the company who makes the game now, but they came out saying that they're going to make the game easier. Which, I don't know. Some people are okay with, some people aren't.
Yeah, I mean, I think like in general, I prefer if the game just has one difficulty. Like, this is the game,
Right.
like so, because if that's the case, it's not, you're less often going to run into shit that is just ridiculous and does not seem like reasonable. Like, for instance, like difficulty in like Halo games, a lot of times like
is just
like,
for example, Halo 2.
Yeah.
The
Legendary
difficulty
in Halo 2
is
ridiculous.
Is like dumb stuff that doesn't actually like make it more difficult. It's just like annoying stuff that makes it
like the enemies just get more health and do more damage.
Right.
And that's just
well, like, yeah, and it takes like one shot to kill you instead of like, you know, the normal amount. And so it's like, you know, it's not actually like your problem. It's like a problem with the system. Versus like you're not actually like, you don't really have actually room to improve. Like, that's what difficulty should do, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, and like, you know, and for some games, like Vermintide, for instance, like that, like if the fan base of the game itself finds the game too difficult, I think it makes sense to like, if the fan base at large like finds it too difficult, it makes sense to patch it and change things. But generally, I mean, I think like having just a well-designed one difficulty is fine. But in a lot of games, like games that are based on difficulty, like Dark Souls or I don't know, Bloodborne, stuff like that. Like that's kind of the point of the game, so it's a little different in those cases because that's what the game's about. It's about
getting over it with Bennett Foddy.
I think I kind of agree with the one difficulty thing. However, I'm not sure I agree with the changing the difficulty of the game by request, because it feels like you're changing the game then. I mean, you kind of are. Like a lot of it, like Halo 2 Legendary is like hard, but like that is the game that was released, and like that's the way it should be played, right? You know, like Mario, I guess, like if they change the difficulty on the original one, like that kind of sucks.
Like added more blocks or something.
Like I feel like, especially if you're doing one difficulty, I can kind of what might change my tune if, you know, there's difficulty like slider or like different difficulties for campaigns or whatever. But if there's one difficulty, I don't think it should change at all. I think it should be something that you have to improve upon yourself. Like, for example, Breath of the Wild, I think does this great. Is that, you know, you go out into the game and you like get killed like a lot by like some of the early enemies, and it takes you a bit. You have to like learn how things work, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're beating them. It's then later you're like, how the heck did I get screwed by this? And like, you didn't like get any like extra power ups or anything. You didn't just all of a sudden like have this thing that made it easier. It's like you learned how to go approach it and do it differently. Like, I don't know, I think that's how you should approach game difficulty. And I don't think changing that should I guess I can understand, you know, wanting your game to be approachable. That's why you don't make too difficult games, because if it is, people quit, and you know you don't want people to quit playing your game. In regards to difficulties, I can understand it for a few things. I guess like Halo for some reason makes sense to me, but maybe that's just because that's all I've played it was.
And in those, I think Heroic is usually like the real game. For the most part, like Heroic is the real game in almost all of them. Because like Easy is just like total bullshit. Like Easy is not even fun in those games.
I think it's like with those, like it's like if you want to go through a game again, but you want more of a challenge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you kind of have to do a self-imposed challenge. Like I know a lot with like older games, especially because a lot of them have just one difficulty. Like speedrunning is a thing, you know, and that's how they
self-imposed difficulty,
right? That or like 100% runs or something.
Mario did no touch challenge.
Right,
can't touch any coins or anything.
And I think that's kind of I mean, it's cool for some communities. But for some things, it's like okay, it's kind of boring. I don't know. Maybe that's just me though. So I feel like sometimes you need the thing, but generally I think games should just keep to one difficulty and be like a game.
For me, it kind of depends on the type of game, though, too. Like, I guess the way Vermintide feels, it's a lot like Left 4 Dead, you know, where you run through a level, kill zombies or whatever. And I think Left 4 Dead did difficulties, too. Maybe not directly, like easy, medium, hard. But from what I remember, they had, like, mutations, I think they called it in Left 4 Dead 2, where you could do, like, only special zombies spawn, or you're the only survivor, stuff like that. And obviously mods, people added their own stuff, too. But then games like open world games, it's a nice feeling when it's like, you know, you're level 7, but the world's not level 7. Yeah. You know, you go over here, oh, this shit's easy. You go over here, this shit's, you know,
that's like my problem with the difficulty in Skyrim, and like a couple other things in that game that are related to that. Like everywhere on the map is basically the same. Yeah. For the most part,
it'll level up with you, right?
With you, but like your opponent, like. It does, but it eventually just gets too easy, like, no matter what. And, like, none of your opponents ever... There's virtually no one in the game who has any weapons above, like, Orcish, and even those are pretty rare. Ugh. Like if you think back, like, playing through it, like... Yeah. Almost everyone Iron Steel. That covers almost every character in the game, and it never changes. So, like, their equipment is just garbage compared to yours after a while.
That stuff makes sense if, like if it's the Iron Age of the civilization and that's just what they have. Yeah. But even so, like, you should be able to run across enemies that have better stuff. You should run You're not the only person in the world.
You should run across a lot more than you do.
Yeah. Get ebony and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. So difficulty. Something...
It's a thing.
It's hard to find a balance, but
difficult, but
gotta do. It's difficult to find a difficulty balance. There we
go. All right. So that does it for that does it for us this week on the Clever and Original podcast. Jay, if people wanted to find you on social media sphere, where could they do that?
Best place to find me is on Twitter at Jayden Reinhart.
And JJ, what about you?
You can find me Twitter, J Larson 107.
And you can find me at Kody Misialek on Twitter. You can find us all at Clever_Original on Twitter. And as you are right now, listen to us each and every week on SoundCloud, iTunes, and other podcast services. And we'll catch you next week, guys, on episode 141.
Peace.
Yeah.